Hello everybody, welcome to, I guess, another live. We're going to be playing Sword and Shield OU, using the same team that I used in my last video. I think today I want to talk about what makes a, sort of what makes a good team. I can go more in depth probably in like an analysis video, maybe something a little bit more like that first tournament game that I played, but I think over the course of this live I'm going to talk about why I picked certain Pokemon for this team and what I'm attempting to do with those Pokemon. I guess first we can start by looking at the team builder. You could probably see in the description of either this video or the last video that I put out what like the exact spreads that I have here. Oh, I don't have 4 EVs on this thing. Well, it's okay, it's not a big deal. 1 point of defense is not going to be make or break, or hopefully it won't be. But basically the idea of this team is I think for this team in particular I started with the defensive core. That's usually how I build my teams. I start by saying, okay, what do I need to have to be able to switch in versus whatever Pokemon I need to switch in on. And usually for this particular meta, what I like to do is have Sylveon and Corviknight. Sylveon is really, really good for Pokemon like Dragapult and Hydreigon, for example. If we take a look at these calcs here, Sylveon versus Dragapult, the choice spec set, given just this investment here, we are guaranteed to KO this Dragapult. We are also taking maximum 40%. Well, okay, 39%, but close enough. You could also run 0 in a special attack. You'd be doing pretty much about the same with Hyper Voice. You could put the 4 in special defense, but again, like, what is 4? I guess probably the most helpful thing to do would be here if you want to outspeed other Sylveon. You know what? I think I will do that. It's, again, not a huge deal. If I'm ever coming down to a 1v1 Sylveon, that's not a good situation. But I guess if I have to use my Sylveon, it would be better to get a Mystical Fire off on their Sylveon. But yeah, like Dragapult, you're taking like not that much. If you're up against a Hydreigon, let's see, I think that's choice specs. Okay, a specs flash cannon is doing 50 to 60, so you don't want to switch in necessarily to like a specs flash cannon, but very few Hydreigon are running specs. They're mostly running Scarf, or probably even more common, substitute plus substitute with like Nasty Plot. So Hydreigon, Life Orb Attacker maybe. This is probably a little closer to the sets that you'll be up against, like actual sets. You're looking for this sort of damage. Now, why am I max defense if I'm trying to stop these Pokemon? Wouldn't going into special defense help me take even less damage from these guys? Well, a Pokemon like Cinderace, let's see, 252 attack, probably not running Adamant, but something like Pyro Ball from the Cinderace. I want to be able to take it so that I can pretty much stall Cinderace out of Pyro Balls if need be. And if I'm not 252 like maximum defense, like let's say if I was in something that didn't bother with defense, I am not in a great spot to take that. Maybe it would be more optimal to do something like plus special defense minus attack, which I think is calm. Yeah, there we go. Because what I could do is I could just hope that I have leftovers recovery available, protect, and continue to sort of stall out the Cinderace, but still take less damage from something like Specs Flash Cannon. That might actually be better, but I'm not really gonna bother with all that until I feel like it's necessary. Corviknight being max defense takes hits really well, so like even if I'm up against like Conkeldurr, right? With max attack, guts boosted, something like Thunder Punch is not going to do all that much damage to me. You see 34 to 40. Oh, excuse me, hold on. 49 to 58. That's a lot different than less than 50% damage. But the good news is, if I choose to Brave Bird a Conkeldurr and the Conkeldurr Thunder Punches me back, I still threaten to kill it because I'm outspeeding most Conks. I understand that some Conkeldurr might choose to run like, I don't know, that much, maybe that much speed, and they would outspeed me, and that might not work out so well. But the matter of fact is that I'm not taking all that much from Thunder Punch. I can always just choose to switch out. I don't have a great switch in to something like Conkeldurr, but if I have identified that it's using Thunder Punch, my max defense Sylveon has a pretty good in, or I can risk going to Dracozolt, because it's not going to take that much from a Thunder Punch. Yeah, and I think spending that time to explain these two has been pretty well spent. Let's just go into some battles, and maybe I can explain my offensive threats a little more as we get into some battles. Taking our time here. There we go. So this team is pretty interesting. We have Double Steel, Double Fairy. Double Steel is pretty threatening for my Sylveon. It's not so threatening for my Corviknight. Wow, this is like the first time I've actually this might be the first time somebody's like recognizing me. I don't know if they're recognizing me or if they're just saying something about my name. That's really cool. Hopefully it's from YouTube. Well, maybe hopefully it's not from YouTube, so they don't know my team, but they may know me from the academy. Wow, I'm wasting my time thinking about things that don't really matter. Dracozolt goes in on this team. Wait. Alex Dion? I don't know. I need to click upon already. Are you from the academy or do I know you in person? Oh man. Alright, let's click Corviknight here. Corviknight leads well against everything not named Dragapult. Um, just gonna U-turn. Snorlax is pretty strong. I don't want to let it no. Well, okay. That was a big waste of time there. See, I expected him to be some sort of like setup, like curse, something like that. That's why I went to Obstagoon here, because I wanted to break him immediately. But he reveals the Whirlpool. I'm not familiar with this set. I can't switch out, so I could obstruct to see what he's doing. Obstagoon's not ridiculously important in this game, so I'm gonna just knock off to see what his response is. I'm taking a lot of chip, but there's not much I can do about that. I'm gonna continue with yeah. I am faster than this thing, and I can take a Sucker Punch, so I'm just gonna close combat here. I don't agree with this play of going for Sucker Punch against Obstagoon. That Bisharp was really, really strong versus my Sylveon, so there's no reason to sack it there. Speaking of Sylveon, I can just go Sylveon here and take pretty much nothing from this Choice Specs. I believe that's Choice Specs. Dragapult. So I'm expecting pretty much anytime somebody has an Excadrill on their team, they are going to go into it against your Sylveon. So I'm gonna Mystical Fire for damage. That is a really bulky Excadrill, which I guess is a good thing because I can just go straight into Corviknight and take like not much damage at all from this. So bad news is I don't have Body Press, so like there's not much I can do in terms of damage back to this thing, but I can I don't know who this guy is, but he's being really weird. Oh. Okay, never mind. There's somebody that I know who has diabetes, who is named James. I don't know if this is... I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what this is. Alright, so my Sylveon can 1v1. Okay. Well, my Sylveon usually can 1v1 Hatterene sets. I'm gonna Mystical Fire again, because if nothing else, I can just reduce the special attack of this thing. I don't know what you're planning to do, but I could go Obstagoon to threaten it out. Okay. Substitute. I'm fine with letting my Obstagoon go here. I'm gonna go into Dracozolt. That might be showing my hand a little too much here, that I'm Scarf. But I'm just gonna Bolt Beak because I need him to switch out. That thing is really threatening otherwise. And yeah, I'm pretty much solid there. I don't expect him to stay in, so I'm gonna U-turn. I'm just gonna Icicle Spear, because I have confidence that that will kill. He probably stayed in and nuzzled, expecting me to want to Shell Smash up. I'm gonna calc. No, I'm not gonna calc. This is some weird Whirlpool set. I'm gonna go to Draco's ult. Okay. I am really not okay with what this guy is saying in the chat, and I'm very sorry that you guys have to read this. So he's gonna, I don't know what the idea is here. I'm just gonna go to Hydreigon. So he could protect here. So I think he's going to protect here, so I'm just gonna go to Corviknight. Okay. Well, I'm gonna switch back and forth, I guess. Alright. Because, well, if you guys have watched one of Jambad's recent videos, he says that if your opponent can't beat you, then you don't have to worry about beating them just yet. So if this guy can't beat me with his Snorlax, then this is a win con for me. I can stall him out of yawns, which is what I'm doing here. Like, I'm going back and forth between Hydreigon and Corviknight because I can U-turn with those Pokemon. If I get trapped, I can just U-turn, and I'm not scared because Yawn takes 2 turns to activate. If he yawns me, he can't Whirlpool me on the next turn because I can just switch. If he Whirlpools me, then he cannot yawn on the next turn because I just U-turn out. So he's down to 5 yawns. Make that 3 yawns. This is... I don't really care about that chip. I mean, I guess he is getting chip on my Hydreigon. I don't think that this damage matters all that much. So I'm gonna go to Corviknight here. If he uses his last yawn, which he does, I'm gonna switch into Draco's ult, because Draco's ult will force this thing to leave the premises immediately. And I think I have enough chip on this Excadrill that I can low kick. It's fine. He's probably gonna switch into Togekiss, which means that I'm gonna have to switch out. I probably should have, now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should have Bolt Beaked because, okay, that's also a possible switch. But then that just lets me go to Sylveon. He might... So the problem is I want to go for Wish here. But he might just Shadow Ball again and hope I get Parahaxed, which, you know, this is probably what he's going to do. Okay, no, he chooses not to do that. I could go to Hydreigon, make a really aggressive play, but I don't see the need to do that. Yeah, if I switched in on an Iron Head there, I just would have lost my Pokemon for nothing. Ooh, there's a lot of damage there. So the problem here is if he goes for my Sylveon doesn't have great is not in a great spot, so what I could do is well, okay, if he Shadow Balls, he will not do that much to Corviknight, and U-turning would be the best move, but also going hard Sylveon's not a great move. I don't appreciate this guy in chat. I really don't. Yeah, Thunderbolt is Sylveon. Going to Sylveon was a really nice play there. I'm gonna Wish here. So he decides he's gonna go to his glorified Stork. I don't have a... Okay, well I actually do have a pretty good answer to it in Cloyster, but I don't know. You get some weird people on Showdown nowadays, or you know what, just all the time. I don't know what to do here. Because if I go Cloyster, I'm risking just getting flinched and losing. If I go straight Dracozolt, he might Dazzling Gleam right away. I guess Corviknight is the safest play. But that's also not a great play, because if he's got... He may have Flamethrower. So he's gonna Nasty Plot. Not being special defense really bothers me, but I can always keep I can just Brave Bird to keep him from subbing, because my my Dracozolt will outspeed him. Well, okay, that's the only other move he's got, but like that's not great, because he could miss it, and he could have also not got the flinch and lost right there. I'm gonna go to Dracozolt. I need a Bolt Beak here, because if he stayed in, he was gonna win the game. If he switches out, I still have switch-ins. So, I need... Dracozolt wins this game more often than... I guess... I don't need Sylveon, really, anymore. Sylveon's nice to switch in for this thing, but this low a health and paralyzed, I don't trust it. I'm gonna Mystical Fire just in case he does something like that. Just to get some damage. So he's at ×2 speed now. This could be a pretty big deal. Means I can't Shell Smash with Cloyster. That means I have to Icicle Spear here. Oh my goodness. Don't do this. Okay, thank God. If I lost the game there, I would have been really mad at that. Because I feel like I didn't make any bad plays up to that point. So I see him possibly whirlpooling here. Probably the smartest thing to do would be to go to Dracozolt. I don't know though. What does Cloyster do for me the rest of this game? Nothing really. So, should I Shell Smash? No, I think I should just go for... Should I just go for damage? I should just go for damage, I think. I'll Shell Smash here. I don't think it really matters because I think I just die straight up to that. I'm gonna Bolt Beak right here. That cleans up. It cleans him up there. So if I was wrong for whatever reason, okay, probably not wrong. I'll say GG, but okay. This guy was very weird. Christ. Yeah. That I had a really strong feeling that damage, that Thunderbolt damage on Sylveon was Specs, because Scarf does like absolutely zero. If he was Scarf there, there's a 90% chance that I was gonna lose that game from there, but he wasn't, so